Hello, grade 8 students. Today our lesson is a grammar lesson. It's chapter 12 in your grammar book, noun clauses. So to start with, an introduction about noun clauses. So a noun clause is a group of words that contain a subject and a verb together. The clause contains a subject and a verb. It acts as a noun. So note that a noun clause cannot stand alone. It is a subordinate clause and it needs to be attached to an independent clause to make sense. So sometimes it's not enough to indicate something by using one noun only. So that's why I would resort to using a noun clause. So noun clauses could serve different forms in a sentence, just like a regular noun. So first of all, we're going to talk about how to use a noun clause as a subject in a sentence. So in example 1 here, whoever thought of this idea is a genius. So the underlined clause, whoever thought of this idea, is a noun clause serving as a subject. It contains a subject, whoever, and the verb thought. The clause acts as a subject in this sentence. First, it's at the beginning of the sentence, and it is acting as the subject of the whole sentence, okay? Notice also that a noun clause used as a subject takes always a singular verb. The verb in this sentence, the main verb, is the word is. Noun clauses also could be used as complements in a sentence. For example, the focus of our work is how we can satisfy customers most effectively. So how can we satisfy customers most effectively is a noun clause. It contains the subject we and the verb phrase can satisfy. The clause acts as a complement in the sentence, identifying the word focus. So a complement restates or gives more information about a noun. It also follows a state of being verb, such as the verbs is or am or are or will be or was or were. So once I have this verb in the sentence, the clause following it is a noun clause serving as a complement. Another use of noun clauses is the following. Choose a gift for whomever you want. Whomever you want is a noun clause. It contains the subject you and the verb want. Here the clause acts as an object of a preposition for in the sentence. So if I look carefully at the sentence, choose a gift for whomever you want. Whomever you want is the noun clause and it came after the preposition for. So this noun clause is coming after a preposition. So it's an object noun clause of a preposition. Also, I could use noun clauses for objects of verbs. In this example, I wonder how long we should wait here. How long we should wait here is a noun clause. It contains the subject we and the verb phrase should wait. The clause acts as a direct object in this sentence for the verb wonder. You could see to write a noun clause, I have to make sure it has to start with one of these words. The most common of these words are words that we also use to form questions. But here we're not forming a question, we're forming a noun clause. So we can use a noun clause starting with the word who, what, why, where, when, whose, whom, and add the verb to it. And then we get a noun clause. So we can use these words, which, that, whoever, whatever, wherever, and whenever, to mention a few. So I could start a noun clause with the conjugation if or whether. I don't know if I will have time. I don't know if I will pass. I don't know whether he will recognize me. So if and whether are used to start a noun clause, and then they're followed by the subject and the verb. A few more tips for you about writing noun clauses. Make sure that noun clauses are always dependent or subordinate clauses. Therefore, they cannot be a sentence on their own. Noun clauses will always need to be in a sentence with an independent clause. So a sentence with an independent clause a sentence without an independent clause is an incomplete sentence, or what we call sentence fragment. So I can't just say, if you pass the test. I have to add an independent clause to it to make sense, okay? So how to form a noun clause? Let's say I have questions to answer, like here. What did he say is a question, right? So I want to change it into a noun clause. I couldn't hear what he said. So the order of words change. I start the subordinate clause with the question word what, but here I'm not asking a question, so it has to be followed by a subject and a verb. Notice that I shifted the verb back into the past because I have the helping verb did in the question sentence. When do they arrive? Do you know when they arrive? So also, I used when as a word to begin my noun clause, followed by the subject they and the main verb arrive, which I kept in the simple present because the helping verb in the question is do, which is simple present. So notice that does, did, and do are used in questions, but they cannot start a noun clause. Do not use question word order in a noun clause. Use question words plus subject plus verb order and plus verb order, and keep the same tense when you're changing from a question sentence into a noun clause. So keep these notes please written in your copybook so you can refer to them when you do the exercises later. So let's test your knowledge here for practice 1. In the following sentences, identify if a noun clause is functioning as a subject, an object, or a complement. The first one, who won the election is still unknown. The second one, I hope that you enjoy reading this book. Okay, write your notes down so you can check your answers in the second slide. Another exercise also, select the part of a sentence that is a noun clause. Can you show me which apps are best for my phone? And the second sentence is, studying hard is what a student needs to do in order to succeed. So give yourself a minute to answer these questions before you check the answers on the next slide. So here are the answers. I hope you did well on that. Feel free to pause at any time to check and write the correct answers. Also, another exercise to test your knowledge. You need to change the question into a noun clause or answer it. Who is she? So you need to answer that, fill in the blank. Who are those men? Whose house is that? How old is he? And what was he talking about? Okay, make sure you answer these before you check the answers on the next slide. And here are the answers. I hope I was able to deliver it the best way possible. It's not a difficult lesson, but just have to focus on the order of words in a noun clause. And to make sure you actually understood all, please do these exercises from the book, answer them in your copybook, and send via the Olive portal as assigned. Have a good day.